In today's Leeds news, Crewe's loan to kick on, Leeds trying for major signing, injury concerns over Gudmundsson, and today's Rumour Mill territory on Jhon Jhon and Toney. Hi folks, welcome back to the Leeds View, Friday the 14th of November with your Leeds United news. I hope your week is going well so far. It's miserable outside. I hope it's happier where you are today. Just to clarify a few bits and pieces about the channel for new subscribers and people asking questions. This is an aggregated news site, so we're not journalists here. What we do is we look around the internet, we try and get you all the stories that are floating around, credible ones, and sort them out from the non-credible ones and try and bring them to you in one little small package that you can digest in about 10-11 minutes with your morning coffee. That's what we do. That's the point of the channel. I will clarify the Rumour Mill stuff as well before we get to that at the end of the video, for people that are asking questions about that. But we'll start off today's news with a story around Charlie Crewe from the Yorkshire Evening Post. Leeds United's young prospect Charlie Crewe's loan at Doncaster Rovers has stalled this season, and since going back to Doncaster after gaining promotion last season, Crewe has only started 3 league games and come off the bench twice in 15 League One games so far. Crewe is currently away on international duty with the Wales squad, and the situation around his minutes at Doncaster are very much a topic of discussion. Crewe sitting on the bench right now, or not in the matchday squad at all, is not helping his development, and that was the main reason for Leeds agreeing to his loan in the first place. He needs to play to be developed, and that development will stall if he's not playing football at his age. But Doncaster manager Grant McCann has assured Leeds United that he expects Charlie Crewe to kick on once the international break is out of the way. But if it's not the case, and if that doesn't come to pass, Leeds United will need to look at recalling Charlie Crewe and potentially loaning him out again in January. Some of Crewe's issues have been labelled as international break issues, and McCann has said that he's had 3 international breaks inside 3 months. And unless Doncaster have more than 3 players away on international duty, their League One fixtures continue as always. So he has missed games, probably 2 per go at this rate, so it hasn't been very helpful. But there won't be any international breaks after this one until March. McCann expects him to kick on from that point. Speaking to the Yorkshire Evening Post, McCann said the following on the Charlie Crewe situation. I think it'll be comparable to what we saw last season with Patrick Kelly. Charlie Crewe came in January last year. This season, he came in at the start of the season. We've had conversations with Leeds, and I've had conversations with Charlie and his agents to say that when the November international break passes, I think we'll see a more polished Charlie Crewe. I'm not saying he's not polished. He's training very well. He's a good kid, good attitude, wants to do well, a tremendous footballer. But once it settles and the international break finishes, the next camp isn't until March. So I think we'll see a more all-round Charlie Crewe. Even with the international breaks kicking in, still only 3 starts for Charlie Crewe from 15 matches isn't an ideal situation, but Leeds appear to be very much on top of this and monitoring the situation quite closely. So if there is a need to recall him, or we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, but Charlie will need to play more games, or there is no point in him being out on loan at Doncaster Rovers. We'll keep an eye on him over the course of the rest of the season on Loan Watch. You can check that out usually Monday, Tuesday of every week's news video. But outside of that, we'll move on. According to a report today from Dean Jones, he claims that sources at Leeds have told him that Leeds are trying hard to get a major signing in January. The report states that Leeds United regret failing to land a top quality striker in the summer, and that is something they are working hard on right now to rectify come January. The report says that while Leeds know that they need reinforcements in other parts of the pitch as well, the attack is the priority going into January. Transfer Insider, as he has been labelled, Dean Jones, has said this: Leeds need a striker, and my info is that they are going to try hard to make that happen in January. They should have signed someone else before the season began, and there is a sense of regret over that. They are working to make funds available, but must find the right blend of good value, good experience and reliability. It'll be something that they look towards in the early part of the window. Now, whether Daniel Farke will be around at that point to benefit from a new striker coming in remains to be seen. If reports are believed to be true, he has 4 games left to try and save his time at the club. But Leeds moving early in the January window is vitally important. Leeds can't afford to waste any more time than they've already wasted on that attacking part of the field. They didn't get the jigsaw finished in the summer, and they will need to move. And no, people will question whether Leeds United have funds. We heard it from the Igor Pajau situation, and we heard it with the Rodrigo Muniz situation as well. Leeds had a pot of money for a special player or a big player that they wanted to get in, and maybe that money is still floating around now if they can identify the right target. Getting a proven striker in January is important, but personally for me, I think getting another player in who can actually create opportunities for the strikers is as important, if not more important. Whether that's the number 10 that Leeds have been waiting for 3 seasons now to try and bring in remains to be seen, or whether it's a right-sided winger who can cut in the left side and be a little bit more creative, which is what they tried to get towards the end of the summer window. All of that will need to be sorted, and in truth, Leeds probably need 2 players in January. Whether they can wiggle the finances to get that done, again, remains to be seen, but it is the tough part of the job, and they might need to sell some players to get some in, but that will be what we'll have to look at. We'll likely discuss that before the January window opens, what sacrifices Leeds may have to make in the squad to rebalance this in the right way, to give them every opportunity of staying in the Premier League this season and stopping the current slide, and at least being able to finish some of the chances that they've been creating so far this season. Let's move on. Let's talk about injury concern for Gabby Gudmundsson. One of the factors that Daniel Farke will be hoping to help him after the international break is all of his international players returning fit and healthy. But a report from Swedish outlet Football Scanlon will give most fans just a little bit of concern heading into next weekend. The report states that Gabby Gudmundsson missed training on Thursday yesterday for Sweden after picking up a little bit of an injury. The report claims that the removal from training was more of a safety issue more than anything more sinister, but Hugo Larsson said that Gudmundsson missed the session due to a feeling. In other words, he felt something, and they decided to take him out to avoid the risk. Another outlet, Aftonbladet, added to this situation, saying that there are question marks around Gudmundsson heading into the weekend, but the national team press officer said that he had a feeling it was a safety measure. There is an individual plan for him. They haven't given any specifics on what the injury actually is, or what part of the body, or what actually happened is, but from a Leeds situation, they'll hope it's not severe enough or serious enough to even make him a doubt heading into the game against Aston Villa. Gudmundsson has been probably one of Leeds' best players so far this season, and of all the new signings that have come in this year, he's probably the one that's hit the ground the earliest and the quickest and settled into life in the Premier League fairly easily. So really important that Leeds have him available. James Justin is there as an option. It's not Jack Harrison at left back. It should be James Justin, and he's been fine when he has come in as well. But yeah, ideally for the attacking threat that Gudmundsson brings, you want to have him in the squad as much as you can. Right, let's move into the Rumour Mill territory. But before we get to that, I'll clarify what the Rumour Mill territory is. There was a comment yesterday just asked, do we make up this stuff for clicks and for views? Not the case at all. Any link in its essence with Leeds United or any other club is a rumour until it either happens or it is completely dismissed. And I'll always try and make sure I give you the source on where these rumours have come from. I'm not a journalist, it's an aggregated news site. So when I get the information, I'll tell you where it's come from, and I'll try and give you ones from more credible sources than not. If they've gotten some things right, we will mention them because some is better than none. But there are tons of stories and tons of rumours every single week that we don't cover that are absolutely not credible. So that's what it is, and I'll tell you if I believe these links are credible or not come at the end of the story. We'll start off with the first one, and it's Jhon Jhon. So according to Leeds News, so a massive pinch of salt with this one. This is very much in the medium credibility area. They claim that they have sources have told them that Leeds United have had conversations with Red Bull over a move for attacking midfielder Jhon Jhon. He has been linked before with Leeds United. I think it was linked at the beginning of last summer was the first time his name was mentioned with Leeds. He's an attacking midfielder and he plays in Brazil for Red Bull Bragantino. He's 23 years of age, an attacking midfielder, and so far in the league for Bragantino, he has made 29 appearances, he's scored 8 goals, and he's added 5 assists as well. A little bit about the player and who he is and what he's been described out. He's been described as having a very high potential, and his manager has said he's a player who could be a big star one day. He's known for being a very aggressive dribbler. He takes risks. He can lose the ball from time to time, but that's the kind of player he is in that attacking area of the park. He will take risks. And the current manager said that he will be a player that will reach the top of world football. The report also says on this that he's not overly known in Europe right now, but he will be part of the Red Bull grouping of clubs, I suppose, in their scouting network. So there could be connections there to Leeds United. They are 10% minority owners of Leeds, so there could be some stuff there. There's no indication on price tag around the player at this point, but he is an exciting player. He's a player that could probably add something to what Leeds need going forward, and very much an attacking option that they could get into the final third of the pitch if Leeds decide to go back to the 4-2-3-1. Could very easily slip into the number 10 position there, but they need someone in that position. But yeah, I would say take that one with a healthy pinch of salt on that one. It's probably overly linked to the fact that Red Bull are involved with Leeds. Let's move on. Let's talk about Ivan Toney. Yesterday, Leeds were linked with a move for Ivan Toney, who was said to be keen on a return to the Premier League after 15 months away in the Saudi Pro League. There are a host and a ton of clubs in the Premier League that are said to be interested in bringing Toney back to the league, and he's said to be keen on getting back to the Premier League so he can be part of the England World Cup squad next summer. But last night, Fabrizio Romano gave his thoughts and his information on Ivan Toney and a potential January exit, and all he said was Toney is a top player, a top striker. The rumours around his possible exit in January are not based in reality. So there you go. Not based in reality at all. Possibly no move at all in January, and definitely not a move to Leeds United. Whether Ivan Toney is the player that Leeds, the big player that Leeds United are trying to get, remains to be seen. But yeah, we know Leeds will have to do something in January. They can't keep plodding along as they are, or else they will plod along into the Championship. So yeah, work to be done there. We'll see what happens. Jhon Jhon's an interesting one. Have a little look at him. Decent looking player. There's a couple there. Again, that wild winger that we linked earlier on in the Franklino, who was linked with Leeds earlier in the week as well. They are exciting players, and Leeds probably need a little bit of excitement right now on that side. It's a very workmanlike team. We said that at the end of the summer window, but they probably need a little bit more excitement in there as well. Folks, that'll be it for me today. Massive thanks as always. If you haven't checked out the Paris 75 interview, very much worth checking it out. It's a massive part of Leeds United's history, and one, if you're a new fan to Leeds United, you should have a little listen to it, and then when the video or the movie does become available, go and check that one out. Outside of that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you possibly over the weekend for some form of a live stream, just to make sure we do something over the weekend. Outside that, enjoy the rest of your day. See you later. Bye.